Brad Riddell versus Magomed Mustafaev takes place on the main card of UFC Fight Night 168 on ESPN Plus 26, Auckland Felder versus Hooker. And I'll be honest with you guys, if I had to tell you one of the fights that's going to be fight of the night on this card, it would be this one or the main event. They're competing with each other neck and neck, in my opinion. This one on the card is an absolute sleeper. I feel like people look at the record of 7-1 Brad Riddell and they think, who's this newcomer? Guy's been doing the damn thing for a very long time, and likewise for Magomed Mustafaev, a veteran of the game, spent a long time in the UFC. I say that, spent a long time in the UFC. Fair enough, he's been in the UFC since 2015. Only fought 4 times. He took 2 years off after his loss to Kevin Lee to work on some things, I'm sure. Got exposed a little bit for his grappling game. Kevin Lee managed to take his back and get a rear naked choke. Comes back after 2 years off. Demolishes Rafael Fiziev, who's no slouch himself. I mean, Rafael Fiziev is a beast. He's only gone on to win since losing to Magomed Mustafaev as well. Still 7-1. Absolute monster. Magomed Mustafaev is a beast. But so is Brad Riddell, guys. So is Brad Riddell. And this is going to be very interesting. I feel like this is the perfect striking battle. I know Magomed Mustafaev has the wrestling advantage, which I'll get to in a second. However, on the feet, I think it's a matter of orthodoxy versus unorthodox behaviour. Magomed Mustafaev, very good, very technical, don't get me wrong, but he throws wheel kicks, head kicks, spinning back fists, spinning back kicks. A lot of stuff that Brad Riddell doesn't like to throw. Brad Riddell will throw the conventional stuff. Couple head kicks, nice little body kick, a jab 1-2, a leg kick, the simple Muay Thai style. Magomed Mustafaev is a little bit more creative. A little bit more creative, you know? So I feel like, if I'm honest with you guys, I feel like there's less of a luck factor to a guy winning fights by being technical, and I feel like there's a bit more of a luck factor to a guy winning fights being unorthodox, because it's such a throw-off. And I feel like if there's a guy who's seen plenty of striking styles in his day, it's going to be Brad Riddell. I feel like Brad Riddell at City Kickboxing is going to have the perfect example on how to beat Magomed Mustafaev, and I think that technique is going to be chopping away at those fucking legs, and chopping away at those fucking legs nice and early. Nice and early. Because Magomed Mustafaev likes to throw a lot of kicks, a lot of spins. All those spins require him to have a strong, stable base on one leg, and if Brad Riddell can make him think twice about doing those things, we could end up seeing a boxing match between Magomed Mustafaev and Brad Riddell. And I think that's what's going to happen. I know that Magomed Mustafaev is a favourite. I know that 80% of people have picked Magomed Mustafaev to win on Tapology. I don't give a fuck. I'm going with Brad Riddell. I'm on the hype train. I know his fight with Jamie Mullarkey wasn't the most clean, but Jamie Mullarkey's a dangerous man. I even picked Jamie Mullarkey to beat him in an underdog fight. I thought Jamie Mullarkey was a live underdog on that last card, and I thought he was going to beat Brad Riddell. Almost did on a couple occasions. I really like Brad Riddell here, man. More active. I just feel like he's got it in the bag. He's younger, he's improving more. They're both pretty equal in size and reach. Magomed Mustafaev a little bit taller. The reach exactly identical at 180.3 centimeters. I'm going with Brad Riddell, man. I really am. A lot of people say, and I've seen some people talk about this fight last week, and people were saying stuff like, but Magomed Mustafaev, if it's 50-50 on the feet, Magomed Mustafaev has the takedown in his back pocket. How many times have we heard that argument made about City Kickboxing members? And how many times we've been proved wrong? Guys don't have the wrestling in their back pocket to do anything about the striking. Israel Adesanya. Everyone was saying, as soon as he runs into a wrestler, Yoel Romero's going to be problems in the wrestling. Promise you this, Yoel Romero won't keep Israel Adesanya down. Neither did Kelvin Gastelum. And I was one of the guys saying it when they were coming up. But I'm unlike everyone else. I'm seeing what I'm seeing and I'm learning from it. And I'm going against what I previously said. They can wrestle. And they know exactly how to, because I know... Here's why. Here's why. I guarantee you, Israel Adesanya is not practicing offensive grappling in camp. They have acknowledged that there are people out there that have been wrestling, all-rounders, wrestling all-round in every aspect of wrestling since the age of 10 years old. And they know that they can cover the same level of takedown defense in half the time if they focus all of their energy into defending takedowns rather than working offensive grappling. I feel like that's what the camp's been doing. Same thing about Dan Hooker. When he sees a wrestler, when has a wrestler ever done good against Dan Hooker? Never. He's a striker, right? The wrestler, be careful of the wrestling. Dan Hooker's a striker, he doesn't like the wrestling. When? Ally Quinter went 5 rounds against Khabib, stuffing takedowns. Didn't have a shit to do against Dan Hooker. Had one moment where he had him in a bit of a leg lock, but it was fine. Dan Hooker even signalled to his camp, I'm fine. While the leg lock was in, he was just chilling there. I don't care about this. This ain't nothing I've never seen before in camp. I feel like City Kickboxing has done enough, and they prepared Brad Riddell enough, and I'm on the hype train of every single City Kickboxing member winning on this card. I've got Kai Kara France. I've got... Oh, spoilers. Fuck, man! Right, well, I'll just not post that video then. I've got Kai Kara France. I've got Brad Riddell. I've got Dan Hooker. I think they're all going to go for fucking Smoketown. Destroy every single one of their opponents. I think Brad Riddell's going to come out, chop away at the legs at Magomed Mustafaev early. I feel like Magomed Mustafaev's going to try and throw a lot of those high kicks. Going to try and throw a lot of those spinning back fists. Try and throw a lot of those spinning wheel kicks as well. But if the presence of a leg kick is there for Magomed Mustafaev to worry about, he's going to think twice about doing them. And when he thinks twice about doing them, he's going to start hesitate when he does them. And when he hesitates when he throws those spinning shits, they're going to come a little bit slower. And they're going to come a little bit more telegraphed. And Brad Riddell's going to time leg kicks while he does them. And he's going to drop him while he tries to spin and wheel kick him. And he's going to take advantage of the situation. And he's going to see it coming a little bit more often. Brad Riddell has the techniques. I know leg kicks aren't good to use against wrestlers, but Brad Riddell's a strong lightweight. I feel like he's got this one in the bag. I need to burp. Either way. Oh, peanut butter. That was nice, actually. Anyway, what was I doing? Brad Riddell. Yeah, Brad Riddell wins. I like how on the UFC schedule they still have him saying he was 3-0 against Jamie Mullarkey. To be honest with you, that's why I picked against him. I heard all this shit about his kickboxing. I saw that he was 2-0, and I thought to myself, this guy ain't ready. Then magically, after beating Jamie Mullarkey, he gains not only 4 wins to make him 7-0, but he gains a loss as well. Don't know how that math works out. UFC needs to check out their schedule, to be honest with you, because they're selling fake news. Brad Riddell's going to get the win. I really, truly believe in him. I believe in City Kickboxing now. I'm all on board. I know people are going to call me a clout chaser, but sometimes, you know what? It takes a bit of a revelation. I was right to assume that Dan Hooker might be able to be taken down as a striker. I was right to assume that Israel Adesanya might be able to be smushed on the ground by some of these dominant grapplers. I have a valid argument for that. We haven't seen them face that style. And yet again, they proved me wrong. I've been proved wrong. I'm eating my humble pie. I'm on Team City Kickboxing. And I'm cursing all of them with my prediction. And now they're all going to lose. And that was my plan overall. No, but Brad Riddell wins this one. I think it's going to be fight of the night. I can't wait for it. And if Brad Riddell wins, listen. We got an undefeated in the UFC 2-0 lightweight on our hands. And there are plenty of matchups for him to take on, including some of the lightweights on last week's card, I feel like. Where are the lightweights on last week's card? There are no lightweights on last week's card? Are you joking me? Maybe Lando Venata versus Brad Riddell. Lando Venata fought at UFC 243. No. Lando Venata fought at UFC 234. He fought there. The Australian... He was the co-main event of the pay-per-view there. Remember, it was Whittaker versus Gastelum. Whittaker pulled out. Gastelum came off the card. Adesanya versus Anderson Silva main evented. And Lando Venata, before even realising, was the co-main event against some complete piece of garbage in a pay-per-view. Would you believe it? I think Lando Venata could really take on the fight with Brad Riddell. I think that would be a great fight to make as well. A really interesting matchup. Again, another unorthodox striker. But let's see Brad Riddell get through Magomed Mustafaev. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm not shitting on Magomed Mustafaev. He has a very good record. He's beaten very good people. I just feel as though, you know, I'm seeing a lot of, and I don't mean to say too much, I'm seeing a lot of Russian bias on the record of Magomed Mustafaev. Now, I'm not gonna... You know, we see how Khabib was treated on his come-up. I mean, Khabib's 14th fight was against a guy who was making his debut. We know how protected these rich families are when they put their children into sports. And to be honest with you guys, I'm seeing a corner stoppage in Magomed's 3rd fight. I'm seeing a doctor stoppage in Magomed's 7th fight. I'm seeing another doctor stoppage against Abubakar Nurmagomedov. I'm seeing another doctor stoppage, the fight after that against Piotr Hallman. I'm seeing no more doctor stoppages. But there's a lot of them. I don't know what I'm trying to say, to be honest. I'm just trying to stir up some little conspiracy. These Russians are up to no good, you know? Russians and Chinese, you can't trust them. You cannot trust them. I'm so lucky that Russians are white, because I would be ridiculed for saying that and probably banned off of YouTube. Those pesky Russians, eh? Filth! Filth of a race. They're white, though. So we're good. Filthy race. But we're white. I don't know what this video, a prediction video. I didn't even speak about the fight too much. I feel like Brad Riddell's got it in the bag, to be honest with you. I like Brad Riddell. I think he'll get it done. I like him. I really do. I like the way he talks. I like the way he comes into the fight. He's got a lot of confidence in himself. He's just had an absolute war not too long ago. About 5 months ago, to be precise, against Jamie Mullarkey, which means he's healthy after that war, which shows that he's fucking tough. Because you're not meant to be back 5 months after that. So the fact that he's back 5 months after that shows me that this guy's had a plenty few wars in his time. And he knows how to recover from them. I feel like he's going to take Magomed Mustafaev. I'm picking the underdog. I'm going against 80% of people on Tapology. Team City Kickboxing. And we'll see if I can curse every single one of them this card. Like and subscribe. Click that button there. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.